Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel, and I don't think I've done an empties video since the beginning of the year. My basket the other day I noticed was overflowing with stuff, so it's definitely time to get rid of it. Let you know what I thought about all my empties. So yeah, that's what we are going to be doing today. And don't forget, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. And if you like empties videos, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And now let's get into all of my empties. So the first thing I always go through in my empties video are all my different hand soaps, and we have 8 of them from the past 2 months. So I'm just gonna go ahead and breeze through these. The first one here is the Aromatherapy. This is the Sleep Lavender and Cedarwood, Vanilla Bean Noel, Winter White Woods, Autumn Spice and Clementine, Snow Kiss Citrus, Winter Cypress, Happiness Bergamot and Mandarin. And then this last one is actually kind of funny. I had this one in my kitchen, and it's called Sorry for What I Said When I Was Hungry. Then now moving on to all of my random stuff, here is some isopropyl alcohol. This was the 70%. I just used this mostly to fix broken powders. And then here's a couple of the Crest 3D White Brilliance toothpastes. I do really like those. I've been using these the last year or so, and I think that works pretty well. Alright, then now I have to talk about this hand cream, and this has like changed my life. I've talked about how my hands get so incredibly dry during the winter, and my son, unfortunately, he's 6. It's exactly the same way with him. His hands have just been so red and dry, and they hurt, and he just gets so upset. I feel so bad for him. But this stuff, I just recently discovered this, and it's like a miracle worker. I used to talk about how the Neutrogena Norwegian formula was like the best hand cream known to man. No. I was sorely mistaken. This stuff is. It is so much better than the Norwegian hand cream from the Neutrogena stuff. It's less sticky, it's cheaper, and it just works so much better, so much faster. It's not sticky and greasy and gross. With that, with the Norwegian one, I felt like I could really only put that on at night because I really hated how it felt on my hands. This stuff rubs in really easily. It's not sticky at all. Yeah, and it works so fast and so well. So if you have really dry, cracked hands during the winter or anytime, I highly recommend that stuff. I went through this one, and I'm almost done with a whole nother one. So that's like the only downfall, is this stuff doesn't really last that long. You can buy it in a tub, but I prefer the squeezy tube. I just think that's a lot easier. So these don't last very long, but it's totally worth it. And here's some deodorant. This is just from Secret. This is their Clear Gel Outlast Extend technology. This was the completely clean scent. I go back and forth between all of them, but for a traditional deodorant, I think this one is my favorite. It works the best on me. I've been using this one for a really long time. I do go back and forth using a more natural deodorant, and I use the more natural deodorant just on like lazy days when I'm not going to be doing anything strenuous, or if I have just recently showered. And then this is if I have not showered that day, or if I know I'm going to be out and about for a really long time or doing something where I'm going to get sweaty. This stuff does really work for me. Then here's another thing of Airborne. I think this was in my last empties as well. I don't care what people say. If they think that this stuff is a hoax, they're selling you just, you know, snake oil or whatever. I think it works. It might just be like, something in my head or a placebo effect. I don't know. I will continue to purchase this stuff. It makes me feel better. That's all I care about. And I do really think it works for me. These are those effervescent tablets that you take when you think you might be getting sick, or you've been around somebody that's been sick and you don't want to get sick yourself. It just tries to kind of boost your immune system so that you don't get sick, or if you do, you don't get it quite as bad. And like I said, I think they work for me. And then I've got some hand sanitizer from Fortune Cookie Soap. This is the Walk the Plank scent. I think this was in the Pirates of the Caribbean box from last summer. What did this smell like? I don't even remember. It smells okay. It kind of has like a rum scent to it, which would make total sense for Pirates of the Caribbean. And then I've got a couple of bottles of contact solution, and then here are some actual boxes of contacts. And then this is so cute. My son put both of these in my little basket that he went through. These are his little mouthwashes. I had mentioned in the last video that he was just flying through mouthwash. He's been a little bit better, fortunately. We haven't been letting him use it like every single time he brushes his teeth, and he has learned to use less of it, which is great. But here is a little Colgate one with Minions on it, and then here is a Listerine one with Frozen on it. I think he told me that he preferred the Listerine over the Colgate. So if you're looking for some for your kids, I think the Listerine one is the best, at least according to my kid. Now for some body washes and body scrubs, and I will start with this body scrub right here from J.R. Watkins. I got this at Target on clearance. It was $12.99, but I paid $9.08 for it, and this was their lemon cream body scrub. And as you can tell, I have used it, but I have not finished this, and I just can't. I used this as much as I could, and I just really hate this stuff. I've used quite a few things from J.R. Watkins, and I've not been impressed, I don't think, with anything from that brand, unfortunately. And this stuff, it was very scrubby, which I did appreciate. And I do like when a body scrub is in a squeezy tube like this. It just makes it so much easier. But this scrub was just so thick, it was really hard to squeeze it out of here. But the worst part about this scrub, and the reason why I can't use it anymore, is it just leaves like this really weird, sticky, oily film all over your skin that just does not come off. Oh, it's just so nasty feeling. It really was. So like I said, I just cannot use this anymore, unfortunately. Oh, I just really hated the way my skin felt after I used that. Such a strange thing. I don't think I've ever experienced that with a body scrub before, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye to that one. But then here are a couple completely empty body washes. This one is from Bath & Body Works. This is the Snowflakes and Cashmere scent. It's just a nice, really basic scent. And then here's another one from Bath & Body Works in a different kind of bottle. This was their Tutti Dolce Sweet Lemon Buttercup scent, and this one was also pretty nice. It was nice and lemony, which I do like. And this one, you know, was also like the lemon cream, and I did think it smelled nice, but like I said, I cannot do it. And something got in my hair there. And then the last one I've got is from Raw Sugar. This was their Vanilla Bean and Sugar Body Wash. And then I just have a few things as far as skincare goes. First thing here is my Micellar Water from Garnier. This was the one with the pink cap. I think most people prefer the one with the blue cap, which is actually the one that I'm currently using, but I thought the one with the pink cap worked just fine. It doesn't work quite as well as the blue one because the blue one is meant for like waterproof makeup, but this one I still think worked pretty well. And I will say this bottle lasted me close to a year, which is crazy because I use Micellar Water all the time. I just felt you really just needed a tiny little bit, and it just worked really well all over your face. With just a tiny little amount. I remember I was purchasing the simple Micellar Water for a long time, and those bottles I know were smaller than this, but I was still like flying through those, whereas this just lasted me forever. It was awesome. So there's that. Then here is something, just a little sample from Mario Badescu. This is the Botanical Exfoliating Scrub. And I thought this was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was very scrubby, but it was very gentle on my skin as well. I've got a couple other exfoliators right now, so I don't need to purchase this. But this is definitely something that I'm going to keep in mind to purchase a full size of in the future because it worked really well for me. And then here's another little sample from Dermalogica. This was their Active Moist Moisturizer. It's just a really basic moisturizer. There's no SPF in here, so I did mix another SPF in with it. And yeah, it was just perfectly fine. It was a good daytime moisturizer if you don't want anything too heavy. And then the last thing that I have, oh no, I've got one other thing. The second to last thing I have is my little bag of cotton pads. I buy these off Amazon. They're amazing. Very comparable to the Shiseido ones, I feel. I get them on Amazon, and they are quite a bit cheaper, so I highly recommend going for those. And then the last thing I have is this little jar of eyebrow gel that my esthetician or microblader, I don't know exactly what you would call someone who does microblading on their eyebrows, my microblading artist, eyebrow artist. But this was the little cream that she gave me to use on my eyebrows after I got them done, and I used almost all of this. I don't know exactly what the cream is, but it worked really well to keep them nice and hydrated. She also told me that if I ran out of that I could just use Aquaphor, but that was not Aquaphor, it was white, it was not clear, but it worked really well. So now moving on to all of my hair stuff, and could you guys tell that I dyed my hair? I mean, look at that. I mean, no, really, I did dye my hair. I dyed it with this. This is from Clairol Professional, the Beautiful collection, for their Advanced Gray Solution, and I used the shade 4A Chai Brown. And it is a very semi-permanent hair color. I kind of just wanted to zhuzh my hair up a little bit, see if this did anything, see if I liked the effect that it gave, and it was very natural. I felt like it did cover up my gray. I do have quite a bit of gray hair, and I actually like my gray hair, but I've kind of just been in that mood maybe to start dyeing my hair again. I haven't dyed it for like gosh, probably almost 5 years at this point. So I was just kind of testing this out. I think it says that it lasts for about 12 shampoos. I don't think this lasted even that long, but this was really, really inexpensive at Sally Beauty Supply. It was like $8 or $10, I think, something like that. And it was kind of fun to try. Like I said, it was a very natural look. It did kind of mask my gray hair a little bit, but I'm still on the fence as to if I'm going to actually dye my hair or not, because when you use like a more permanent hair dye, I remember really never being able to find a color that I liked. I just always felt like a brown hair dye looked really, really fake on me, and they never completely covered up the gray hair. So like, is it even worth it? I don't know. So if I were to dye it, I would probably go back to being blonde, because I really liked how like dyed blonde hair looked on me, but that's just such an upkeep, you know, and it's so expensive because I cannot do that myself. I would have to go to a salon to do that. You know, so I don't know. I will probably keep it like this for a little while longer, at least, just because this is so much cheaper. I don't have to do anything to it. Then here's a shampoo that I went through. This is from OGX. This is their Fight Fallout Niacin and Caffeine shampoo. I have talked about this before on my channel and how much I love it. It really, really does fight fallout. I feel like my hair falls out so much less when I use this. I think this was the second one that I had gone through, and I'm currently using another bottle of it. I really, really like it. I don't like the conditioner from that line though. I don't feel like it really did anything for my hair, and it smelled kind of funny. But this is amazing. They don't sell it at Target, at least at my Target, and I don't know if they sell it in store at Ulta, but I did purchase these on Ulta's website. So in case you're looking for something that's really inexpensive and does a really good job of keeping your hair in your head, this is an awesome, awesome shampoo. Then I've got a few conditioners. Here's one from Aussie. You guys know the drill with this. I talk about this in just about every single Empties video. This is the 3-Minute Miracle Moist. It's so inexpensive, and I think it works really, really well. And then I've got 2 of these. I purchased both of them at the same time at Target because they were on clearance. I paid $3.84 for these. They were originally $5.49. I have used these in the past, and I did like them, which is why I purchased the last 2 that my Target had in stock. These are both from Schwarzkopf. This is the Gliss Hair Repair Ultimate Repair Anti-Damage Mask. I thought this was a pretty good hair mask. I use it just as a daily conditioner, and I did really like those. And I was sad to see that they were on clearance, but I'm happy that I was able to purchase both of those. And then I've got 2 more little things here. The first one is from Living Proof. This was their TBD Multitasking Styler. This was just like a little freebie that I got from Sephora, and I really, really enjoyed this. So I went and purchased a full size of this stuff. And I have to say, I don't like the full size as much as I like the sample. Has that ever happened to anybody before, where you like really, really like a sample, you're so excited about it, and then you get the full size and it just isn't as great? I feel like when I'm using the full size one, it just leaves my hair looking a lot more greasy, and I haven't really had greasy hair in the past few years. So I don't know, maybe it's not the styler and it's just like hormones or something. I don't know, but I'm not as in love with it as I was with this. But I did really like using that. And then the last thing that I have for hair today is from Not Your Mother's, and this is the Beach Babe Texturizing Sea Salt Spray. And I think this is a pretty good, you know, just all over hairspray for a little bit of definition, a little bit of curl. I think it works pretty good. And now I have 2 perfumes. The first one was Sexy Amber from Michael Kors, just a little mini spray. It was okay, not my favorite, but this one, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. This was from Bulgari. I'm pretty sure I got this little mini from an Allure beauty box a few years ago, and this smelled so amazing. This unfortunately was not a spray, and it was really, really hard to open, but I ended up putting it in a little atomizer, is that what they're called? Just one of those little spray bottles that you can buy for perfume, and I just finished it the other day, and I'm so sad because it smells so good. I think this is called Omnia Parfum. It's not saying on here what it actually is called, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I know the full-size bottle looks pretty much like that. It just smelled so good. I really, really like that perfume. All right, now finally moving on to all of the makeup that I finished off in the last couple of months. And just like I've done in years past, I will have all of the makeup listed down below along with prices so that I can keep track of how much I use up throughout the year. And then at the beginning of next year, I will do a whole Empties video dedicated just to all of the makeup that I finished throughout this year. But the first thing that I finished off was my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This I think was in my Finish 9 by New Year's Project pan. I finished it a little bit after that project, but as you can see, I did scrape it as much as I could with a little spatula. I do like this foundation. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. And I was in the shade Y225 for that. And then here's my little mini Benefit High Beam highlighter. And you can see I scraped this one like crazy as well. And how I would use this, I think was it back in November, I took a picture of myself and my skin just looked so dull, like so flat, so matte. Like I was like embarrassed, like it was horrible. I was so upset with how horrible my skin looked. So what I've been doing with this, and I have another little one that I'm currently using as well, as I put on my moisturizer and stuff, and then I put on my my primer, and then before I put on my foundation, I will put a couple of streaks of this all over my face and rub that in to give myself a little bit of a glow. And then I put on all the rest of my makeup like normal, but I really do feel like this helps. I did use it today. Like I said, I have another little one of these, and I feel like it just kind of gives a little glow from within because I don't use that much, and it goes under all of my other makeup, but it really just kind of brightens up my skin a little bit. So I was really happy to be able to find a use for these because I really wasn't, I really didn't know what to do with these. I don't like liquid highlighters on my cheeks. I usually just prefer a powder, but I think that's a great way to use that. If you have one and you're looking for some way to use that, it works really, really well. Then here's another foundation. This is the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation, and I had it in the shade 20, which is like slightly too dark for me, but I could make it work, I feel. I love cushion foundations. I just love how lightweight they are, but I think between this one and the L'Oreal one wins for me, hands down. I just think that one lasts so much longer on my skin throughout the day. This one did tend to break up. When I first put it on, it looked really, really pretty, but it just didn't last throughout the day as well as the L'Oreal one does. So like I said, it's not bad, but the L'Oreal one is way better. And here's something that's really skincare, but I'm counting it in with my makeup because I used it as a primer. This is from Code Space, and this is their SPF. This was Broad Spectrum SPF 40, just their natural skin tone, silky soft, blends translucent, sheer matte finish. I don't know that this really technically has an actual product name, but it was an SPF, but it had the consistency of the Benefit Professional, so that's how I used it. And I really did like this stuff. I thought it worked really well. I loved that it had SPF 40, and it was a really good primer. So there's that. And then I've got two mascaras. Here is one from Almay that I was surprised at how much I liked. This is the One Coat Multi Benefit Mascara. It's a very natural looking mascara. So if you want really va-va-voom lashes, this is not going to give you that. But I do feel like it gave my lashes a nice look. It was easy to wear. It didn't flake off. It was perfect for an everyday use. And then here's one that I used a couple times and I couldn't use it any longer, unfortunately. I used to like this, but the more I've used it, the more I think, why is it so popular? And I hate to say that about a brand and stuff, but this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I can't get with it anymore. I think it looks nice when you first put it on, like it really, really does. But this flakes on me within the first hour, I feel. And by the end of the day, when I wear this, my mascara is not on my lashes anymore. It is down here. It just looks so terrible. So I don't know. Does anybody else have that problem? It might just be me, but I don't understand the hype around this mascara anymore, unfortunately. And I have gone through many of them in the past, but I think if I ever get another one, I'm just gonna go ahead and pass it along because I just really know that I don't like it. Then here's a little Urban Decay sample that I have. This is their color correcting fluid. This was the green one. It works fine. It's to correct redness on your skin if you have any pimples or discoloration. It was just a little sample I got from Sephora. This was in my rolling project pan for the year, one of the first things that I finished. I wouldn't repurchase, but it was fun to try. And then this was also in my rolling project pan. This was the e.l.f. Lip Exfoliator, and if you saw that video, you know how much I hated this thing. It's supposed to be the mint one, and it just smells like plastic, and it had this weird film like around the outside of it, and it was just kind of gross. So I'm very excited that that is gone. And then this is something, my son must have put this in here. This is his. I don't think I knew that he had put this in my little basket though, so that's pretty funny. But this is just a little soft lips cube. It has Hello Kitty on it. I remember he really wanted that. But it is empty. He used the entire thing. So there you go. So those are all of my empties for the past few months. I feel like it was a lot, but I also had a lot of really big things in that basket, so I don't know, it was probably like a normal amount, especially because I haven't been wearing makeup all that much lately. I just haven't gone through a whole lot, but hopefully that's going to be changing because I'm really going to try and make time to, you know, put makeup on at least a couple of times a week, since I've only really been doing it once a week the last few months. But I really want to change because it's just something that I enjoy. But anyways, enough rambling from me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching this video. If you like Empties videos, like I said at the beginning, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't so you don't miss any of my future videos. We can also connect on Instagram. I will have that linked down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!